now we need to also make sure that there is an economically viable way of collecting carpet and make it into raw material for the ECONYL process in an economical way.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess that's a growing industry. In fact, I think we talked to one of your representatives at the CARE Entrepreneur Convention back several months ago.
Sure. Definitely, we need to invest in that. You know, we have this fishing net stream, which we are trying to make growing, trying to work with the Association of Fishermen, try to work with a service company who provides service to the fishermen for the fish nets, the manufacturer of fishermen. We have all a network of connection now to make that stream working. And we're also working on alternative streams. A big stream which contain a lot of nylon is apparel, especially sportswear. Sportswear are mostly made out of nylon mixed with elastomer, Lycra, if you want to do the brand name. Mm-hmm. So once we're going to find a way to separate the Lycra from the nylon, that will be another big step into the availability of a large amount of nylon to be recycled. Today, the main concern or the main obstacle is the fact that pretty much there is no garment, no fabric which is made out of 100% nylon, or very few. So the vast majority are elastic fabrics, which contain the elastomer, spandex. So once we can figure out the way to separate those two streams, there will be another major undertaking of potential large supply of raw material.
How do you source this? Do you source this from sorters, collectors, sources?
Yeah, pretty much. There is still a network. There's a network of collectors and sorters out there. And that's where the one that we deal with today. We buy many container load per month of this used carpet to feed ECONYL. But still need to grow. I mean, it's still not enough.
I guess that's going to change, I suppose, as we go forward. I suppose more and more carpet will be recycled, other than just economic, situation. Obviously, you're not selling carpet to residential markets or commercial.
No.
You're not collecting it.
Well, I guess that one of the reasons why more carpet should be recycled would be based on what different legislators will do. I mean, today we only have pretty much one state which is enforcing some sort of legislation to promote carpet recycling. That is California. But it looks like there are going to be more and more states which will enforce regulation, law, rules to make carpet landfilling more expensive, or to promote carpet recycling on the other side, whichever way they decide to go. So I think that once those laws and those legislation are enforced, that would grow the availability of post-consumer carpet, obviously, because it would make more economically viable to reuse it more than put it into a landfill.
I understand. I think Minnesota is going to...
It looks like the next one is going to be Minnesota, yes.
Yeah. But nonetheless, as we go forward, more and more states will do this, more and more collectors will be set up, and I guess I
suspect that that's going to happen. Nobody knows how fast this is going to happen. Because this is pretty much in the hands of each single state, and they have their own, logics as far as addressing one problem versus the other. But long term, yes, I think that at the end of the day, carpet, like other material, not only carpet, I don't think that carpet should be singled out as a bad thing. All encumbrant material should not be landfilled anymore, and so at one point that will happen.
But your model basically takes into consideration that this will grow exponentially going forward.
Absolutely.
And
that's what we expect. Okay. That's what we expect.
Let me get back to the sale. of the engineered plastics unit. How does that affect the synergies here in Cartersville, here in the United States, if at all?
Well, we expect to keep collaborating with Domo once they have established their own unit. So today we utilize our own fiber waste to recreate pellets. Tomorrow we'll sell those same fiber waste to Domo, and they will do the same as we do.
Okay.
So it will not be affected much. In actual, we will keep that synergy. Today, something else that we do, we collaborate with some of our customer, our carpet mill customer, and they provide us with their own feed of post-industrial material, either creel-outs or loosened fibers that they collect out of their operation, and I expect this to continue. Just the operation will be under the control of Domo and not under the control of Aquafil, but there's not going to be any reason to compete with Domo, so Domo is not a competitor, will not be a competitor, so we expect to keep collaborating with them to make sure that the good that we have been doing till today is not going to be dissipated or dispersed. It will keep happening.
Does Domo operate here in the United States?
Not at this point. They have a large operation in Germany. Domo, as you probably know, is a Belgian company owned by Jan de Klerk. Yeah, one of the Klerk brothers. But even if the ownership and the headquarters in Belgium, the main the operation, the plant is in Germany, in a village called Leuna. And so they have EP business over there, and they operate over there, but they don't have anything in the U.S. or outside Europe. But so this is part of a strategy that they are putting together to be able to have plastic business and operation in both three continents, which Aquafil was able to offer. So we are selling the three business unit, both the European one, which is by far the largest one, but also the U.S., as I mentioned before, and a similar operation to the U.S. one exists in China, so they will take over also that operation and be able to deliver similar production and products in the three continents. If you look at the automotive business, more and more of the automotive business is global, and the big brands are establishing themselves in the three continents, being able to manufacture the same style, the same car all over the world, and so they're looking for suppliers which are also global. So if you operate in the automotive business, you want to be able to deliver products logistically in the three continents. So that's part of the strategy, I guess.
So the long and the short of it is the acquisition really isn't going to affect you in any major way other than it will free up your resources so you can invest more in EcoNail and what you're doing now.
Absolutely.
I see.
Invest more in EcoNail and invest more in expanding the business. We are, the volume of the business that we are going to sell to Domo is 105 million euros. That translates into something like $135 million in sales. It represents 18% of the total Aquafil turnover, but we expect that by the end of 2014 we will have recovered that volume, through our expansion in carpet fibers, mostly carpet fibers.
I got you.
So, and that's what we are looking at, and as I said at the beginning, as we keep saying, we'll free up resources that will give us the possibility to make those investments.
So for your customers here in the United States, your carpet customers, this is really good news.
This is great news. This is great news. They know, I think they knew it before, but they know even better now that there is somebody here which is not afraid of making investment, in betting on the good health of this business, in making sure that our carpet mills, our customer and carpet mill will still be able to find a large availability of products, of yarn, of supply, and they can still run their business with no fear of being left without yarn to run. So I think it's a great news, and we expect a good reaction from the carpet business in the North American marketplace.
Last question. What are you seeing out there? You had mentioned earlier that you're in a place where you can go on well even if business is not terrific. What are you seeing in terms of levels of business out there?
What do I see? I think I see what I've seen in the last 2 or 3 years. I see a lot of optimism. Unfortunately, I have to say that I've seen the same optimism in the last 2 years, and then this optimism did not translate in real growth. So I hope that this time, the optimism will not be limited to that, to having good mood. I mean, I hope that we will see some actual growth or rebounds from the last 3 years level of the carpet industry, which has been bad. I mean, long and short. Obviously, most of the recovery should come from the residential business, which has been the most hardly hit by the recession and by the consequences of a house bubble. But as I said, I mean, we keep hearing news that the market is going to come back. The market is going to come back. I've heard this news for 3 years now. It never happened. It never materialized. I hope it will eventually. And it will eventually. Hopefully it will happen this year. The commercial business has been not so badly affected. So yes, they have lost market share, but definitely not in the same fashion as the residential. So I think we all hope that people will start buying houses, and builder will start build houses, and people will renovate their houses with new carpet. Let's keep our finger crossed and hope that will happen in 2013 and not next year, because we already had this disappointment for a couple of years in a row.
I hear you. Franco, congratulations on this sale of this engineered plastics unit. It sounds like a really important move for the domestic carpet industry here, as well as the carpet industry in
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I hope that we can reconvene maybe in 12 months, and I will show you what we have done, I mean, with the resources coming out of that sale.
I'll be looking forward to it.
Very good.
Thanks for spending some time with us today.
Thank you, Dave.
We've been talking with Franco Rossi. He is the president of Aquafil USA. This is Talk Floor TV.